Yeah. Hello, Biafra, wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your location. Here we come again on critical analysis with Mazi George Umeh. I think before we introduce ourselves, Biafrans, we have to go on our national anthem first. Then when we come back, then we have to introduce ourselves properly. Hello, Mazi. Mazi George, can you hear me?
Yes, 1 minute. Oh, hey, Biafra. Oh, hey, Biafra. Oh, hey, Biafra.
Oh, hey, Biafra. Hi, POB One Family. Now, please, we have to, before we introduce ourselves, we have to go into play our leader's prayer. Then after that, we have to introduce ourselves.
obodo ekwensu bụ ụzọ ga na-ama
ise
ndị iro ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
ndị ọjọọ ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
ndị na-agwọ nsị ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
ndị okwu asị ga-anọ n'ọsọ
ise
eziokwu Chineke ga-apụta ihe
ise
onye anyị ka anyị na-arịọ ugbu a na ruo mgbe niile ebido
ise fakọdị onye isi ndewo
anyị na-asị na mgbe anyị mechara n'obodo a na-ala obodo.
Yeah, hello, wonderful people of Biafra. Here we come again. Happy weekend, all. My name is Mazi Ikechukwu. And I'm here with Mazi George. Please, Mazi, please introduce yourself, please, to Biafrans.
Thank you, Mazi. Fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Thank you. We welcome you once again on this wonderful critical analysis hosted by Mazi Ikechukwu, sorry. My name still remains Mazi Ikechukwu Ezumezu, live here in United Kingdom. It's one of the principal officers here as a North London coordinator. Mazi, well, thank you.
Yeah, Mazi. Before we dive into our main issue, our main topic of the day, you know, a lot have happened, you know, in this couple of days ago. A lot have happened, both in the UK where you are, where you stay, where you reside, and also in Biafra land. So I would like to play the visit of the impostor to King Charles III. And after that, we have to say a little about it and hear what the impostor said. You know, it's important. You know. So thank you. Yeah.
He want the relationship to continue, and if possible.
President Muhammad Buhari arrives Buckingham Palace in United Kingdom to meet with His Royal Majesty King Charles III. In an interview after the meeting, the president spoke on the purpose of his visit to King Charles and shared details of their discussions.
He is interested very much in Nigeria, maybe of Nigeria's relationship with Britain for all long, and our economic strength. I think we are still of great attachment to them, and he really speaks very well of Nigeria, and he showed the interest that he wants the relationship to continue, and if possible to be improved. And he asked me whether I have a house here. I say no. I have, even in Nigeria, the only house I have are those I have before I.
Hello, Mazi. There is one thing I underline from what this impostor said. There's one thing I underline, and I want Biafrans to listen very carefully, you know, and I want you to analyze this statement. This impostor said, the king is so much concerned and asking, you know, that, and I asking about the relationship in terms of the economic, and most importantly, that one thing this impostor said, he said, we are great attached. He believed that we are great attachment to UK government. Mazi, that speak a volume, you know. That means all those things that's happening in Nigeria, UK is aware and They are pushing it. So, Mazi, what can you tell Biafrans about this statement?
Thank you very much. Well, it's not something that is a kind of surprise to Biafrans. We all know where our problem started. We all here in United Kingdom, even our internal leader, Umeh Mazi Ikechukwu, went to school here in Oxford University. Our leader as well studied here. Even Nnamdi Azikiwe studied, I think, a bit of here as well in America. So you always found out those that led the revolution are people that have having contact with this particular country, United Kingdom. But the UK government is deeply, involved, and Her Majesty, when they talk about the royal family, because this is a source of their income. Without the zoo, they have uninterrupted oil. Onyendu have said it before, that oil is not our problem, that they should let Biafrans go because they have uninterrupted access to the oil. That is why they took them as their perfect slave and handed over the zoo to them. A lot of people don't know what happened before the independence, that the Britain pretended they went to fight the caliphate, and at the end of the day, they lose to them and handed over the zoo to them. That is why the Fulani man will tell that the zoo is their father's little estate. And Usman Danfodio as well, and Ahmad Bello as well, study a little bit of here. So this is a historical fact, and that is why we are here fighting, on our better to make sure that at the end of the day, we have that discernible voice to speak out. We have our children here, but they can see the economic, underline the word economical interest, and they heavily attached to them because everything they do, they're the one orchestrated. Just like our leader. Our leader being held incommunicado as a British citizen, he has a British passport. Is there any difference between our leader or any other British citizen? They don't have second-class citizen here, to be honest with you. But because of the interest, that is why you see the silence. It's like they fell deaf ears or whatever that happened. So this is just this is the evidence that what we are saying is facts. Britain is highly involved in the corruption that is in the zoo. So Mazi, and they can't do without the zoo because that's where their strength is coming from. When Onyendu reviewed that there was a pipe, because when people talk about fibertic go under the ocean. So if they can draw fibertic from God knows where, getting a pipe of pipe that filled with gas to United Kingdom, submarine can do that. It's an easy job for them to do. And we know that something like that existed. And that is why they will do anything to keep Nigeria as one. Because without that, they wouldn't have that access to what they want. Somebody's going to review when the country is now shredded to as what they've got here. Because in the UK here, UK is a 4-country-in-1, which is what Ojukwu actually proposed in Aburi Accord, with the then Ghana President Yankara, So we want a confederation so that every region will grow on their own pace. Like here, Scotland are the ones that have oil. That's why you see Scotland fighting that they want their independence. That's why they want another referendum. UK here doesn't have oil. The only place that have resources in this confederation you're seeing here is Scotland. So that is the reason why. So Mazi, it doesn't take rocket science for us to understand the position these people are and where they have kept us, because they know that naturally average Biafran, they are smart. Even here as we are right now, they are doing well in their own various capacity of works and profession across board around the whole world. So that is it. And you can hear when he said, they asked him, does he have house here? This is just to put on ice on the cake, because that's the corruption. They know that you go to Mayfair, that's where you see all these people, their kids, all of their kids are here. Their grandchildren are here. They don't do anything. The money is coming, flowing. So Mazi, this is our problem, and they are our problem. So there is no two ways about it. Every Biafran must understand that the interest of Britain first is to get access to that oil that is in our ancestral land. And that's why we're asking and telling them that oil is not our problem. We want to exploit our inevitable human resources that Biafrans is embedded with. That's what we want, not to, dwell on natural resources that have actually destroyed our inhabitants. The people that live in coastal region cannot even they can't farm anymore. They can't even fetch water. The whole pollution has been polluted everywhere. We want a clean energy that our people can actually benefit from what we have in our land. So, but these people knows the truth, because in Scotland, nobody goes there to mess up their environment. Everything is well organized, but they're doing the opposite because, they have people they know they cannot instruct. So, Maz, that's my submission to that. It is not something that we are not aware of. We all know their position, and they have continued to keep deaf ears. But by God's grace, things are going to change very soon. No, thank you.
Yeah, Maz, thank you so much for your analysis. It's wonderful. You said it all. I could remember when our leader said that if Britain don't answer the ants in Biafra, that's what is happening in Nigeria will happen to Britain. And I can see the handwriting. It's coming up now. I can see. I think some days ago I saw some people protesting. I think that was in London or something like that. I don't know, but austerity, they're protesting. So no, man, we don't have much time because at least we want this program to last 2 hours. So let me quickly move on to our Biafra land. What is happening in Izombe? I believe you have come across some video. What happened in Izombe? How Nigeria terrorist soldiers are terrorizing our people, burning the market, destroying the house. And what pains me a lot that none of the governors from Southeast is opposing this. Even so-called the Supreme Court governor, although we know that was his plan, none of the Igbo elites, none of the Igbo politicians are saying about it. I think we have to play the video. So let people see.
Ule no ọkụ n'Izombe, Iweli Izombe. The way Izombe is on fire. Everywhere smoke. Izombe market is burnt. Look at Izombe market. Everywhere is burnt. Ya ubele ka agbara ọkụ. Iweli Izombe. Ya ubele ka agbara ọkụ. Ule no ọkụ n'Izombe, Iweli Izombe. Ya ubele ka agbara ọkụ, ya ubele ka agbara ọkụ. Iweli Izombe. Ya ubele ka agbara ọkụ. Ule no ọkụ n'Izombe, Iweli Izombe.
Let ọkụ everywhere. Let Izombe agụnado. Let unayo.
Pole kwende mbao, pole kwende mbao, pole kwende mbao. Where were these people? Pole kwende mbao. You don't come again, no.
Yeah. Hello, Mazi. Mazi, this is heartbreaking. Seeing our people passing through this through all this mayhem, you know. Even in the north, where there is all these terrorists, where there is Boko Haram, there is ISWAP, there are all kind of terrorist group, their village have not been burned. Their market have not been burned. Their community have not been burned. But in Biafra land, that none of these terrorist group is there. They are killing our people, burning their market, destroying their livelihood, destroying even the last video where the woman was crying, maybe this is the only building he have. And that building was on fire. The military, the Nigeria terrorist military set that house on fire. And none of the Igbo elite is saying anything. None of the Igbo politicians is saying anything about this, what is happening in Zombe. Mazi, it's heartbreaking. I don't know what you have to say about this, Mazi. No,
Mazi. To be honest with you, our leader said that he wants peace in Biafra land. But as you can see, what is happening in Biafra land is a provocation that has gone into unabated. Like you said, all these puppets they put in our various government house that are so-called representative will not say anything because they are actually involved in all these whole issues. They are the ones that they are orchestrator of all our pains. So if you ask me, we are not seeking help from those that are causing the pain to us. Just like as you can hear the imposters said about Britain. So you can't go against your master. Though he tried it in 1983 when he kidnapped Umar Duko, you know, shutting down, they tried this, but at the end of the day, he found out that his strength couldn't do anything. What is happening in our land right now is a nightmare, if you ask me. And there's no word to describe it, the pains our people are going through. And what we are asking, which way forward? How do we get things, at least a certain level that people can at least go to sleep with their eyes closed? Man, looking at these videos and the voices you hear, this is not the first time. This is ongoing. This has been like, it's become like a routine to them. Every little provocation, they will unleash mayhem to the defenseless Biafrans. And no one has said anything about it. It's painful, Mazi. And all this whole thing that today that is happening is because our leader has been held incommunicado. And we are asking, which way forward? Which way forward is the question we should be asking ourselves. If our people are being killed in their own homes, are being burned down, and we fold our hands and do nothing, I don't know where we are going from here. But if you ask me, it's heartbreaking. This has been going on. So it's a routine check for them now, Mazi. And that is the fact before us. The question is, what are we going to do about this? What is there for us to do as Biafrans? Are we going to fold our hands and watch them wipe our people? Our people, our leader has been held incommunicado for almost 18 months now. No one is saying anything about it. And over time to time, every little provocation, all these murderous security agents, jihadis that is in uniform, will unleash mayhem to our defenseless mother, father, brothers, and sisters for no reason. And all I can say is that it's heartbreaking, but we must define a means how to deal with this situation. Mazi, that's all I have to say.
Okay, Mazi, thank you so much. It's heartbreaking. Well, I say that now. So what we are doing is not that Nigeria government to stop whatever they are doing, but we are just putting the word on notice because we will never allow this to continue. Time shall come, we shall defend ourselves. we shall defend ourselves. So, Mazi, let's dive into our main issue, you know, because you can see what we have here in our board now. We are IPOB. We are IPOB, whiter than white and whiter than snow. No, we are IPOB, whiter than white and whiter than white than snow. So we say that there will be no cabal in IPOB. Our house must be clean. Our house must be clean. We must stand in the gap to say no to cabal. In the leadership, they must obey our leaders' order and implement our leaders' order and respect the code of conduct. So, Mazi, at the Biafrans are waiting. We want to have you to have what you have for us today in our house, because a lot is going on. We can see what happened in South Africa. We have not finished that case. We have a lot, but let's take it step by step. So,
Mazi, thank you very much. Fellow Biafrans, this program is only for it's like when our leader came out, a lot of people cannot digest his words, you know, because our leader speaks from heart. And that is where IPOB was built upon. IPOB was built on that truth. Fairness, equity, and justice. That's what IPOB is all about. Because at the end of the day, we are not here to malign anybody. But what we are saying is that those that has been given opportunity to serve Biafrans must be selfless. There's no two ways about it. It's either you are selfless or you are not a servant. Because that's why Onyendu always address himself as a servant. Onyendu has that power to do whatever he wants to do, which all of us signed into before we joined IPOB. Taking our oath, even when our code of conduct was unveiled. Or some of people will make references to code of conduct, forgotten that code of conduct was unveiled on black and white on 2019. So having said that, so many mistakes has happened into the hierarchies of IPOB for the last 19 months or 18 months thereabout. And we have sat down closely and watched them. We have defended, we have cautioned, we have advised in secret that people should be wary of their comments or what they do or what they say within the leadership, within IPOB leadership formation. If you're serving as a coordinator, zonal coordinator, regardless your position in IPOB, once you're a principal officer, even a floor member, your conduct matters a lot, tells a lot. Because Onyendi said we cannot replicate another useless, you know what I mean, as a Biafran. So what I'm saying tonight is this. We always make a reference to what has been said. We don't just come up and start fabricating story or come out here to do some, you know, witch hunting or saga. So like we have seen a couple videos, and there's a video of ESN we just saw on social media, you know, popped up the other day. And it's very important that people be very careful of what we post on social media, especially when it has to do with our security architecture. Even I remember Onyendu making it abundantly clear that ESN activities should never be posted on social media. I can remember a couple of times when the I don't know if it's devil that is possessing this man, when Chino Sanwo still have his senses right. I see him talk about people not posting about ESN. I remember when the first video, when they caught men that face down, he wrote something And Kemorode Biafra was questioning who are these people, the commander, rare. But today, all these videos that are popping out on social media was shared by his own Facebook or Twitter. And he sat down and asked yourself question. Why is all this whole thing coming out on social media? There's one saying I can tell you that a barking dog does not bite. Our leader is being held incommunicado. And all you hear is people whining, titu-tatu is what you've been hearing. If you want to kill a dog, you don't tell a dog. Rat is that you kept the poison for rats or a trap to cut that rat. But you don't tell rat that you kept the trap for him to cut the rat. It's a common sense. If you go into war and reveal your secret to who you want to go and fight, then how are you going to win that war? Whatever we have is what we should be cherished. If we take a case study 2015, so many things went on in 2015. And so many things that were coming from left, right, and center was positive, that pressure was mounted on those that was holding our leader. And eventually, at the end of the day, things happened. So now one question is this. We're going to play two videos based on video that just popped out within the architect security of IPOB, which is our vigilante, which is ESN. And the chanting they are chanting. I want to correct one impression here. There's no Buhari. Buhari is dead and buried in Saudi Arabia in shallow grave. Jubilee is no more. He's run away. So people are wearing masks. IPOB and her leadership must know that whenever you are addressing Jubilee or impostor and calling him Buhari, I don't know the position you put in our leader. We must choose our words rightly. Buhari is no more. So we must call them by their name. Because our leader have made it clear to the world, and no one has come to refute it. That's like when we say things here, we ask you to come out because with irrevocable evidence was there that this man died and the secret was kept. And that's why sometimes I said we call them, Alamajuris, and they didn't go to school, they're cattle rearer, but at least they can keep their house in order. If they can rule, still ruling all of us in that dominable zoological republic for the past 7 years under somebody impersonating a president that have died and the whole world knows is a dead man, then anything can happen. And we can't hold ourselves together just under 18 months. Everybody's on their own, ranting like mad dog. Whatever you know about your comrade, you must come on social media and talk about it. If you have an argument with somebody, whatever is told you in secret, you made it open to everybody to know. Is this kind of Biafra we want to restore? So, Mazi, I think it's important you play those two videos. Let's just watch them. We'll sail through it, then we'll talk something about it. Yeah.
International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Mazi, to be honest with you, I don't want to, I don't want to ridicule ourselves. To be honest, I'm being honest with you. And I respect our men and women that all of us are volunteers. Every principal officer under IPOB obviously is a volunteer. We have said it all the time. I want to point out something in these two videos. I don't understand why it's on social media. If anybody asks me, George, why is this video being posted on social media? And what is intention? And what is it to achieve? Rather, to cause more problem in our land. Or even those that are actually in the bush, guiding our forests. Onyendu have said that ESN is not our standing army. We must understand it. I'm just advising those that is actually honest to themselves, that have anything to do with our security architecture, because I know Onyendu set up ESN with the purpose of driving out the herdsmen that are ravaging our forests and raping our mothers and our sisters. But what I'm trying to figure out is these people chanting Buhari, which is dead Buhari, obey court order, Nigeria obey court order, and they are ESN personnel. And the next thing he saw is men that were covered with with leaves, this is the formation of soldiers in the bush. We understand all that. But my problem here is that, why is this on social media? Even Ukraine and Russia is fighting. Nobody have shown what they do in a secret, or how they are prepared to go offensive against their enemy. But what is the meaning of this? That's my question, Mazi. I don't want to go too deep in this. But what I'm saying to those that are doing this, they need to stop this. Because this is not threatening. This is not, nobody's scared about this. To be honest with you, this make our people more vulnerable, if you ask me. Now, they are chanting under what? Under Onyendu, to scare the zoo away to leave our leader. Is that what it means? And the answer is no. It ain't gonna happen. Because they still have that balls to go and kill our people in our villages. If you have something to do, go ahead and do it. Does anything, if they have any plan whatsoever, if they have anything to offer, they don't have to come on social media. This is where I know that some people have failed, and they have failed our leader. This ain't helping Onyendu in any shape or form. These two videos is causing more problem. That's why you see their camps being attacked all the time. Because the locations has been given out. Now I have shown them how you hide yourself in the bush. So apparently, any camp they go, they shoot aside anything they see that is lived. They will bomb it. That's the fact of life. I've said they should go and do a little bit of, you see, Sierra Leone and Liberia. Nigeria was the country, ECOMOG, then, that had upper hand, as you see today. Then they have Alpha jets. That's why they used to go and comb these guys in the bush. Sierra Leone and Liberia, this is what they used to go and comb them back in the days. I've told them, go and learn and understand when you're fighting with someone that is more sophisticated than you. What do you do? What strategy? That only strategy you have is not something you sell out to public. Let alone now putting the life of those that actually have volunteered to do that work in danger. My question I'm asking is that these two videos that we just watched, chanting about Muhammad Buhari Obey Court Order, reporting ESN, and dressing up in the leaf in the bush as soldiers. Are you preparing war? What does it mean? That is why when people start lying to themselves, propaganda is not a good thing. Servitude is not IPOB is built upon. If we have something to do, we deal with it. We know what we are fighting for. We know why we are here. The people that are holding our leader is going to come out, but let's stop making things worse. I don't know why these people will be putting our people's life in danger. Just look at what happened in Zombe. Every time these people came to attack our people, there is no repair. There's nothing. They will come and do their damage. At the end of the day, they will walk away. Nobody raises a finger. And they will still continue making things worse. I just want to find out why. And we shouldn't be following, listen, sentiment, emotion is what is holding us as a race people back. When the time to take stand and to say to something, this is wrong. The reason why countries move forward is that people that in leadership, when they do something wrong, they be held accountable. We are a freedom fighting movement, and our leader is being held incommunicado. We should be strategizing, and our strategy should be something dear to us, not something should be made public. That is my combo advice. I don't know the reason why. I don't know the notion behind these two videos, and something like that have happened over time. If we go back and remember when they floated some people, called them their cadets, and they were going to be the people arresting people in Biafra land and all that thing. I keep on asking questions. I don't want to dabble into this security issue, but Onyendu himself said it with a very calm voice in court that he want Biafra land to be calm. But I'm not seeing you guys working towards that. Because if you are, you can't be showing this kind of things on social media. Now, those people you told us that were cadets, where are they? How many people have they arrested? This is something that we need to, it just needs to stop. This shenanigan need to be buried. And we find a strategic movement. IPOB is a one big family, and we know where our strength base and lies upon. When lies and servitude has come in, he can't, when he fell, the spirit of Biafra left you, wouldn't know he had left you. You keep on, all you will do, everything you do is a mistake. Some of the people that are around wouldn't even want to say it. Because it's just like what we are facing to some people say, George, don't talk about it, just leave it, just leave it. You ask them, leave it. How do we move forward? That is my question. And nobody will tell you anything. Oh, leave it, you don't know, but how are we going to come out? On which level, which pressure are we getting from where? If not what our luminaries are doing and all that. Which other ways should we go to make things work out? Instead of making caricature of ourselves, putting our people on social media, marching, chanting, Buhari Obey Court Order. Now people dressing on the leaves as a soldiers and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's a wise thing to do. People might not talk, but as much as these things goes forward, people now start seeing what we are doing as if it's a joke. If you have something to offer or something to do, go ahead and do it. You don't need to notify anybody. We don't need to show them our strategies or what we know or how we do it. No. This is this is just a humble advice. I'm not saying this to put anybody down, but what I'm saying here is that this kind of video shouldn't be popping out on social media. Onyendu have said it. ESN activities is not allowed to be on social media. So I don't know why suddenly now it has become, it's like a routine thing. Every single time you see one video come out, I don't think it's a good thing. And it's not helping anything we are doing. It's not getting us anything. Instead, it's adding to, adding agony into what our people are facing back home on the ground. Because at the end of the day, whenever this thing has happened, someone is going to leak it to the zoo government. They're going to go back now and start hunting people that have not done nothing. If you have something to offer, go ahead and implement it without you letting anybody know. Actions speak louder than words. And the barking dog does not bite. You see that dog that sit down, does not move and do anything. Any day you step in their tail, they will bite you. And they will bite you, they won't even care if there's a poo in your bum. They will eat up everything. And this is IPOB, I know. Mazi, I think I will stop here for this issue before we move forward.
Yeah, Mazi, thank you so much. But before we go to another issue, I would like to say one or two things on this issue. And I will address this my message to Mazi Ikechukwu. Mazi Ikechukwu, I know you are watching this video. I know you are on this program. Listen. I don't know how to talk, but I want to give you just one advice. If there's any point you want to prove, Biafrans know you have proved that point. But please, from now on forth, take off ESN activities off media. Before our leader was rendition to Nigeria, he said it. Please, Mazi Ikechukwu, I call your name. Take off any ESN activities off social media. As a good soldier, as a good security, how can you reveal your secret to your enemy? How?
I don't know.
How can you reveal your secret to your enemy? You parade our great men and great women. You show the enemy your secret. So when they attack them, they can be shooting at random. Anything leave, they will be shooting. Or leave, you can't show your enemy your strength. No. But please take off ESN activities off social media. This is the message direct to you, Mazi Ikechukwu. Thank you so much. So Mazi. Yeah.
We like I said, there's no prejudice here. IPOB must be sanitized. Yeah. I know there's so many, confused and weak of us out there, but Onyendu will join us very soon. But before then, we must not allow this candle to turn off. My duty is to make sure, because as we are going forward to restore Biafra, Onyendu said he's 100 men with clean hearts and women that Biafra will give us Biafra. So, and there's no if but on it. It's either you're in or out. One thing, there's one word which I'm for you to say, which I'm for say, once you're outside IPOB, it's either you're an IPOB or outside IPOB yapping. So, and that's fast. Because when he fell off, he was actually outside yapping. So he resigned by himself, and before his position was was actually abolishing IPOB. The reason why I'm making reference is that in this, we have already, IPOB is a house. Onyendu, you know, our leader, that's one thing I tell people. If Onyendu was an ordinary person, I will never budge. He said, and I'll quote, he said, IPOB will be a household, and a time will come, it become a privilege. And that is why you see today, everybody's camping to be an IPOB member. They want to belong. Some people say they preach IPOB for them 2 years. People like us, nobody preach. We heard the voice, we join. And that is why the spirit of Biafra will never leave you unless the day you offend the spirit of Biafra, because what we are doing is more spiritual than physical. You know? So we are here to give that particular direction in this point in time we are, because the truth about it is that those that are supposed to be leading us have lost their track. And that's the truth. There's no two ways about it. And that's why they see when they mention autopilot or not autopilot, and I said it, but the only autopilot I know is those people that Onyendu gave order, that were ignoring Onyendu's order. That is real autopilot. In autopilot, George never recognized that from day one. Anybody that knows me knows I stand on it. And I said, anybody can go and form whatever they want to form. I don't have issues with it. But I don't want them to use people to distract us within IPOB, saying, oh, infiltrators. There's no infiltrator than the one we have within. Because all of us are together and we know what is going on. So that's the fact we are making to every sundry to be very, very wary of what they are doing. This is no longer a child's play. People have given their souls and their everything to restore Biafra. If you are tired, you know you can't do it anymore, you just walk away. There's some people that are saying that, but they are the ones that actually need to go away because they are not for IPOB. IPOB is not about me, not about you. This is a freedom movement, and this movement is something that has to change the entire black race, because that's what we are fighting for. A lot of people don't know. I wish you understand what we are fighting for. So, Mazi, tonight, as we are moving forward, what we are saying is that at this point in time in the struggle, people must be wary of the words that comes out of their mouth and things they say, because it will be checkmated. And you must be honest to yourself, because the word that comes out of your mouth, once it comes out, social media, it goes viral. And that is why today a lot of people have lost their direction and respect, because that word that have come out of your mouth is recorded. People have it. It doesn't matter what you say. It means absolutely nothing. The day I heard that Onyendu message was coming and everybody was reluctant, that very moment, every single individual that was part of that issue, they seems to exist in my brain, resetted instantly, because that's kind of human being that I am. If Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu word can be ignored, I don't know who else shall I listen to. That's my problem. And I said it all the time that Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, it is not an ordinary person. And Onyendu is not absent. I will reiterate again. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS dungeon. And like Chikeruzem said, our leader is reachable. And what people want us to see is to isolate our leader. That is his words. And we can always come here to reiterate our words. That's Onyendu, that what they want us to do is to isolate our leader. This is his words. In the other hand, Chinas Awori is telling you that what Onyendu see might affect him or affect the struggle. And in conclusion, Chikeruzem is now saying that Onyendu didn't give him a reason why to sit at home. So when all this voice is going into your head, unless you are dead, you know, when someone don't think anymore, or someone say, oh, it's not about, this is not, has nothing to do with leadership. It has gotten, this is an individual thing. These are individual words, right? Mazi Ikechukwu is in DSS dungeon for what? For Biafra. And somebody is telling you that our leader is absent. And he's making it public. That's what I'm saying. You people brought everything we do. As IPOB, we don't discuss our affairs publicly. In the days of Radio Biafra, that's why I always mention Uchemofo. You dare not come to Radio Biafra and say that you have problem, because first Uchemofo will ask you, you want to talk about anything concerning IPOB family issue. First question will ask you, are you a IPOB member? He said yes. What zone do you belong to? Once you answer that question, he will refer you back to your coordinator. If your coordinator cannot handle that matter, then take it up as our structure has, been designed to us to deal with issue internally. Matters does not discuss in Radio Biafra. But the day they allow issues of IPOB to be talked about and from Radio Biafra now people now turn it into saga. It's the day they lost every inch of that particular direction Onyenu have set out. So that is what has brought all of us today that will come to social media to come and give a voice. While we have one command, let me say one command, centralized. Everything in IPOB come as one. Onyendu, our media is one. Our finance is one. They started with media now before they go into our finance. Everything in IPOB is centralized. Oh, that's when you say one command, not two. We don't have two media. We have only one. But today, everybody today is a broadcaster. Everybody wake up in the morning. They have a Chikedozium, in private message about their principal officer. They will sit down in their room after being intoxicated, reading it out to their fans, and people will sit down and be saying that we are still doing IPOB. That IPOB me and you saw, and people have died for. But do you think if other people that we actually questioning and asking for our freedom see all these activities, you think they will take us serious? Of course not. That's a thing that made people grew in IPOB. As the force and the kind of discipline. When you say this, they will come and tell you about discipline and ask them if true that for instance, Chikedozium will come on Radio Biafra and say IPOB was found under discipline. Now us now we said the same thing. Then they ask Chikedozium, if it was found under discipline, then why did you disobey Onyendu with your own voice and with your own mouth, saying that that Onyendu actually told you 18 hours before the first sit at home to suspend that sit at home? After you agreed with Onyendu sent message, I think 21 hours before the first sit at home. They didn't tell about that. 21 hours before that sit at home, Onyendu, all this problem couldn't have arisen in the first place. Because you made the announcement. You can easily call it off. Then there was no counter, opinion. Canon has not tweeted then. And nobody can question because then IPOB was still intact. All this whole mess started from the moment you disobeyed our leader. And now Canon came out and said this sit at home has been suspended because he has the same information, the same message you have is what Canon had. And that is why he came out and said, we guys cannot do this. And that is where our problem started. And today we are everybody's camping. Now, what they are saying, infiltrate or this, infiltrate or that. You go back even when they ask someone to broadcast in the Radio Biafra, the same problem happened. So if we start down here and be talking, how did we get here? How did we get here? Your body language, the word that come out of your mouth, this is the problem we have had. And now you people have thinking that you have accomplished what you want. Because you guys started with the media, created e-rats and the recharge card media all over the places. Some of them that fell off, joined different group and you brought them back now. And according to you guys, you're forgiving them with condition. Now they have to do your biddings. They have to cover your excesses. Some of them will come and start talking about whatever Chikerozem says. Nobody's questioning about what Chikerozem said. Onyendu said that. Onyendu said it when Uchemofo was there. And Uchemofo did his job. If Chikerozem gives 60% of what Uchemofo did, we won't have argument. If Chikerozem leadership gone up to 60% of what Uchemofo did when IPOB was underdog, I will know, but nobody will be talking now. We'll rack it on percent. We put it on. If you put it on chart, what has been done on 2015, 16, 17, 18 on metrics. Now, you see where they are. They on abyss, their mouth with red down to the pit of hell. Without no disrespect, never ever. I want to say something here. Some people don't know the reason why sometimes I mentioned Uchemofo. Because I followed him closely. You know how many times Uchemofo have finished broadcasting, his microphone was still on, live to the world. Sometimes he falls asleep. Some people say he's sleeping on the radio. But you don't know that man sleep on our studio. He don't even have time with his kids. Can you sit down? Let me tell you something. Do you know the most punish you can give somebody sitting in one place? Can he sit? If you're somebody that work with computer, right? Sitting down on computer daily, sit for 5 hours without getting up. Do you know what that means? Don't you know what it does to your body? He doesn't get up. But I followed him closely. So many times I would personally call him on phone and say, your microphone is still on. I remember one time they recorded his voice where I was sleeping. Days of you them. They put it on forum. And I said, and then if he's sleeping and so flipping what? He works 24 hours round the clock. Radio Biafra does not go up because then anything can come up. He will come back and broadcast it. Then they don't have multiple people broadcasting Radio Biafra. Then we had one lady who reading news. And later he followed with them before Ikechukwu came 2017, Motherland. Before Ike Peters them and others, this guy start coming on the Biafra, which we welcomed. All I'm saying here is that then everything was structured as IPOB, and you'll be proud of yourself. You don't go around talking nonsense. We still have media war because I said it before. Every single one of us are media war. I lost my Facebook at the same time they disable our former Radio Biafra main page on Facebook, which over 2 million. It was disabled. That's why then these guys, they went to Los Angeles to go to their headquarters when the devil has not taken over them all. I'm just making all these references because some people don't know. My point still remains that everything in IPOB was central command. What is central command? It's come from one source. The media is final. Whatever Chukwu the former said is final. When it comes to finance, whatever Madam Nyanya said is final. The DOS, you can't hear DOS making any references then because when you do here, and them themselves, that's why I say Chikerozem is passing information. That is your job. Now Onyendu is not with us, is in BSS dungeon and is reachable. Your job is to transmit his message without you thinking about it, whether it suits you or not. Because the original problem we have today in IPOB, as IPOB is working today, and some of you today are quiet because you're comfortable, because some of you know why? You think you have achieved what you wanted by now getting involved with the backbone and heart of IPOB, which is her finance. And that money you people are diverting is a blood money. Now, to stifle IPOB with her fund, it is one of the exodus that people went on, and some people didn't know what was going on. But people like us, we were there watching you guys. Every step inch you guys was making, we were watching, taking records of what was going on. Because it's not someone like me, when I speak, I'd say some of them that today claiming, some of us defended, including myself. And some of them I'll give it to them that so many of them that were out there then doing something from their heart. But when now they start having backdoor meeting, which some of us went, and I told them plain, I don't defend individual. I only defend structure because I have defended most of these men in their back. I don't need to say it. And I wasn't doing it because I had any personal relationship. I was doing it because This is how our movement has been structured. And when you go after every IPOB, we come after you as well. On a very clear note, I'm not talking about now things has gone, going left-handed now that everybody and them themselves know they have soiled their hand. Because when you soil your hand, all the things you do will constantly be mistake. That's why you see ESN pictures and their videos, what activities, whatever they do is being posted on, because they want to remain relevant. And some of us, our people are gullible in mind. Don't get me wrong. They are naturally weak, like lame, like our leader said. Some of them can't think. Forget about their education, whatever they know. It's not about what you read. The point is that, can you use your common sense? Our people said our people are weak and lame. When I was saying this, he literally was crying. And if you look around what is happening, because I can tell you from my own perspective, and people that I know that was around me, that some of them claiming that they're educated, but they are I can only say they are lame and weak. If you can use your common sense and question things that need questionable, if the so-called people that were supposed to be protecting our leader are publicly making a cynical comment about our leader, telling the Zoo government that Onyendu's order has not been obeyed, do you know what that does to our leader? Do you know what that does? It's not me that said it. It's not me. It's not me. Contradicting yourselves. He said that they want us to isolate our leader. That is your word. On the other hand, you were reluctant about his words. And it was public. It is not like you guys did it without we even knowing. But they have the same nerve to come out on Radio Biafra and admitted these things. What does it tell you? Because in your mind, you believe that this man will never come out alive. So we might as well continue saying what we're saying. So nothing's going to happen. As you guys have bulldozer the family, everybody in the family, including the dead parents, mean nothing to any of you. Anybody can sit down from their own comfort zone and be saying what not about Okukano family. But I will always tell you people that in history of mankind, there is no family like Okukano family. I'm going to tell you why. No family have ever come together to fight for one thing without having, disunity within themselves. I have not seen, including the parents. The parents sworn and died in the same cause. So any of you that have knowingly or unknowingly say something against this family, you see your generation, probably your generation will not live again. Because the cause you have embedded on you is something you don't even know. Some of you don't know. That's why, remember the last week, Maz, when you were asking this question, I said, I'm not going to talk about this, and I'm not talking about it now. I'm just giving them a piece of advice, because whatever I want to deal with, I deal with it, I go deep in it. I don't just come out and talk. Some of you don't know what Okukano family represents, but I will tell you. There's no family on this earth. Go and read the history. And any freedom fighting in the world. Some people don't know that with Mandela and Winnie Mandela, after 27 years, they divorced. And both of them were not in peace till Mandela passed away. Winnie himself died. How do you know this? I will tell you to go on YouTube and type Winnie Mandela's burial and listen to Malema's submission that day, where he was talking to hypocrites. He said some of the people that they would say they're in the podium, you literally want to call their names. You have to be radical for you to stand against every odd. It's not every man. Some of us, as we are different, we have different voices. And there's those God have created in this world and give the mantle from birth. Because I cannot be part of evil. He was saying it. Those people that were on the podium that day, Malema was, I said, I wouldn't say, go and type Malema, EFF leader, on Winnie Mandela's burial. And he is the person now actually championing the quest. Actual, because what they wanted was total freedom of their people. Total, just like what is happening today. Onion want total freedom. And some people will ask us, say, why did Onion didn't take 5 states and say bye-bye? And Onion said, no, we are not taking 5 states because our kid and king must come with us. Because they, regardless of what they say publicly, they still see you as a big brother. If something happened tomorrow, they say, but you guys left us. And he said, no. We will ask them to decide by themselves. Just like as they gave the Boronu state of Boronu, where this guy come from Atiku, right? There's a referendum. You see this Abanzonia is in today. Abanzonia was under referendum, I think in 1952 or so, that brought them, they joined the Republic of Cameroon, and the Boronu joined the zoo on the other hand of it. And our kit and kin, that's why today they are fighting against Cameroon, because they voluntarily submitted their sovereignty to Cameroon. They actually voted to join Cameroon. Just like as Scotland is saying today, they want another referendum. They could have done it, in a civil manner. They have another referendum. They said, okay, now we want to be on our own. But Africans, there's something wrong with them. We never learn. People who claim that they're professors, I went to study, they have the same system. The problem is that how do they implement what they have learned? It becomes inevitable. So at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make here is that overall, IPOB was not formed because we want to replicate what has happened or what we are trying to extricate ourselves from. IPOB is only formed that our people shall be total free from this servitude and this oppressive regime, like Prince Charles have just, taken over as Prince Charles III. Now, because this is people don't know. That's what I say to people. It doesn't matter who is in number 10 Downing Street. It's a policy against Biafrans. And that policy has something to do with interest economically. That is what matters. And somebody that is on top always wants to be on top. They don't want another Japan. This is what they told one of our generals when they went to Yugoslavia, who were looking for weapons. They said, no, they have one Japan in Asia. We don't want one in Africa. Because imagine if Biafra have survived in 70, what could have happened? There wouldn't be a need for China. China wouldn't surge. China they would be languishing in poverty. Though they have a population, but they will be eating themselves. That's fact of life. Because in China, you're allowed to have one child. You can't have more than one child in China because of the population. People are over 1 billion people. So, Mazi.
Yeah, Mazi, I think now that they have make it 2 now.
Well, maybe now because they shut their door before now. Maybe now they are, now they're getting involved. They're going. Now they were communists, they don't leave their country now, but now they have expatriates, and now they're recognizing country within, like Africa now, they have recognized most of the whole Africa, so they need men to go and work there. Because what they were doing, they were bringing their men from prison. All these people they are bringing, their engineers are prisoners. All these are prisoners. I met a couple of them back in Africa. We saw this sub-Saharan Africa. That was also happening. So now they are allowed because now they are now the new colonial master, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. They own most of all this country. Because under that, even the zoo as well, they indebted with them. So that's the main thing. So Mazi, and the main important thing I have to hammer anytime we come on air is about our finance. Because without finance in IPOB, there is nothing else.
Mazi. Please, before we go into that finance, there is one thing I want to bring to your notice. I want to talk. The last time our issue, the Mazi Ikechukwu come on air, he talked about mentioning name on Radio Biafra and hand over the names to the gods of our land. Yeah, for me, For me, handling people to the gods of our land, for me, I have no problem with that, because the way of gods is not the way of man. But announcing the name on Radio Biafra so that and the enemy, the zoo security, we go after them, is where my problem come up. I want to say something. There's two things I want to say. About it. 2 points I want to make about it. Mazi Ikechukwu, this message is for you. You know, our leader Mazi Ikechukwu, he announced people's name on Radio Biafra, yes. But our leader Mazi Ikechukwu, will investigate and make sure what he says is 100% accurate, right. That's our leader, you know. I have two cases, Mazi Ikechukwu, because I said, for me personally, you know, you shouldn't be announcing any name anymore in Radio Biafra. I have two cases. One is Mr. George Umeh that's here with me. The second one is the man that announced his name on Biafra TV. It's also a platform of IPOB. And if that man is in Nigeria, that man could have been gone. I'm talking about Umeh Mazi in America. And according to the man, he told me that in Enugu State, there is a coordinator. I don't want to make a mistake here, you know. Say there's a coordinator, at least what, you know, that have contrary issue with some members, and they tag him autopilot. And that man's name was mentioned on our IPOB press statement. And the guy was picked up, and they picked him up. Nigeria soldier picked me up. The same Umeh Mazi, I'm quoting him. He reached out to you, telling you this man is innocent. This IPOB 100%, it's not autopilot. You know. But the Nigerian soldier picked him up. They tried to reach you, and you did not done anything. Chinasa Nwoolu did not done anything. Not until the man ran to Ogbuefi, and Ogbuefi consulted Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor saved that guy's life. If not, it could have been totally gone, because his name was mentioned on IPOB statement, a press release. Then second one is Mazi George Umeh. Mazi George Umeh did nothing wrong. The only crime he committed, he was paying the money to the accurate account designated by our leader Mazi Ikechukwu, to Germany account, Austria account, Italy account. And his name was mentioned on Radio Biafra. If Mazi George Umeh is in Nigeria, what will happen to him? What will happen to him? So I'm saying this. If you want to mention name on Radio Biafra, please, you must investigate by yourself, because most of the name you announce there, you do not investigate. They just give you the name and you announce it. We have that information. I'm begging you, before you announce anybody's name, make a thorough investigation by yourself. 100%. Because I could remember after you announced Mazi George Umeh with other people, Chinasa Nwoolu come on Radio Biafra and say one of those that their name was announced on Radio Biafra, he was caught on kidnapping. Meaning the names you announced, they're all kidnapping. They're all criminals. But George Umeh is in the UK. We have to be very, very careful for announcing innocent people names on Radio Biafra. Thank you, Mazi George Umeh. If you have anything to say, please.
Mazi, you know, I like us to do something whenever we are saying something, like especially when you are quoting somebody, it's very important to quote that person verbatim and actually present the evidence concerning that person, you know. So I think the best thing to do is to get this particular video.
You are the sponsors of these criminals. You must desist. If
just give me a second. Okay, you know what? Yeah, the video is going to play. After it's finished playing, I will say something.
you do not desist, first of all, I won't shame you. I will call your name, and like they say, how did they put it? Call and shame and or whatever. You will be, your name will be mentioned. If you do not desist, those of you, because we have your records and we know you, you may be trying to, trying to see who you can deceive as if you are working for IPOB. We will call your name that you are those sponsoring the criminals in our land, and therefore, invariably, you do not wish the coming out of our leader. You want him to continue to be tortured, to continue to be prosecuted and persecuted and held illegally in detention, despite the ruling of several courts that he must be released. Not only that, I will call your name on air. What you see, you take. What you see, you will take, because we will ask the spirits of our ancestors to take the appropriate and the proper position and take the proper action against all these people that have desecrated our land, continue to desecrate our land, continue to maim and kill, murder, cause all this havoc in our land. That's why I've said tonight, you need to reject all that you are being recruited to do, and go back to the land, and be.
Mazi, you see, there's one point I want to make here. There's one thing Chike Dozem said. He said, you are the people that don't want our leader to continue to be tortured by their activities. Now, take it back to the two videos we just watched about ESN. Is that action and art actually pushing to release our leader or to get our leader to be killed in prison? Like I said, this is their words. They're constantly making mistakes. And anytime Chike come on Radio Biafra, he will continue to dabble in. Because in this world, there are some people you don't step on their toes. There's some individual in this life you don't step on their toes. And especially those that are pure in heart. That's why our leader, mankind cannot kill Mazi Ikechukwu. I said it before and I will say it again. You see, anytime I say something, I just don't talk anyhow. That's why we don't come out here every day ranting. We are busy people. We have family. We work. We only come here to dedicate our people. But just this is a broadcast Chike made yesterday after over 8 weeks or so, or 10 weeks. You have not come and say anything about it in the Biafra. But not mistaken. Over 10 weeks now. And when you listen to him talk, he doesn't talk freely. He gibberish in anything. I said it all the time. Because when you are not, your conscience is not clear. What you're saying is not real. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because I picked up a word when he said that those that are sponsoring those in our land, that they don't want our leader to be released. And I'm going to ask him and Chichina Sanwo-Olu. ESN picture chanting Jubilee or Buhari, obey court order, Nigeria obey court order, and showing ESN men wearing leaves as a common flag in the bush. What does that one, navigating to release our leader? I will leave him to answer that question. Now, come to mentioning people's name. If you notice, when this whole thing started, all of us, we are like, okay, I have said it before. China Sanwo-Olu, for one, I know. I have never had his name mentioned with our security architecture. That I will always say what I know. If anybody wants to quote me right. If anybody that has had Mazi can mention China Sanwo-Olu's name as one of his emissary. And like I said before, if Onyenu have given you any special duty to do for him, you must keep it secret. Because Onyenu never wanted to be public, because he could have made it public. If you have assigned for a particular project, you keep it that way, whether Onyenu is in DSS dungeon or not. So now, if you go back on how issue of mentioning names started in IPOB, because what is happening within us here as principal officer abroad is what's happening in Biafra land. Within our security architecture. When Onyenu was kidnapped, China Sanwo-Olu might have people he have contact with, but not all. ESN is not one place. You have states or whatever he was doing on his own time. Just like he said, money while you're passing through his hand, they're passing to those that I don't want to know what his duty was, but he could have carried on doing his duty without interfering with men on the ground and their activities. Because like I said before, you cannot command from Kuwait, to men that is on the ground. Let me give you an instance. Charles Taylor was trained by Americans to go and take over from Doe. I'm giving you an history lesson. I said, you listen, forget about the Rwanda. I'm talking about the one that happened over 20-something years ago. Ethiopia are still fighting. But Americans was one that trained Charles Taylor to go and take over, because in the whole sub-Saharan Africa, Liberia was the only country that was colonized by Americans, because they brought them back, I think, 1815 and left them there in Ireland, because all these are coastal islands, gave them their independence. Now, Doe was there doing whatever he's doing on his own days. They needed someone to pull him out. They trained Charles Taylor as a mercenary, and he went to Libya and trained in Libya and recruit from Libya and move from to desert and come to Morovia, come to Ivory Coast. From Ivory Coast, now when the man wants to march into Morovia, when he starts advancing, he was there physically. You cannot be from Kafanchan and be controlling people that is in Biafra land. It does not work that way. In real terms, I'm talking about in real combat. I'm not saying when they send you a message to you to give money or buy something, it's a different thing. For you to be a commander, you must be physical. Onyendu is a commander because he's being physical. Mazi can have led men in Biafra land, physically. When Onyendu came out from 2017, when Onyendu is going on any program, you will see more than 1 million men outside. When they block Ebonyi State, Onyendu get into Ebonyi State. So many states, he said Onyendu will go there. That is how you know commander. You don't command from distance. And you have the infantry to talk about our leader is absent. I'm just giving you an example. So where this problem started, the first time China someone will come on Biafra to mention people's name, that these are the people, criminals, giving out their location, this is where the problem started. My brother, don't look far. We are not stupid here. If we that is in abroad that actually sponsoring I can tell you, if Chikerezium can show me, if Chikerezium can make his money he's contributing in IPOB public, money he has contributing with receipt public. Let all of us see and know who is updates. People that are actually paying. When you say when you made it open, when you call their name, you only call one person's name who was paying, was Madam Nenyanya when it comes to finance. That's the reason why he made her the head of finance. And the trust is tested, you have tested. Has she been tested and trusted in every way you want to, way Madam Nenyanya. I've been in a couple meetings with her, not personal talks. I don't need to be. She's my superior and she's the head of finance, and I respect her. Because when you told us that she is the final, and that's where I stand. She's the only one that gives, that's why they say, when you hear central command, means that when Onyeni says something overall in IPOB as the spirit leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Do you know who gave Onyeni spirit leader? Do you know? Have you ever had Chikerezium address our leader as a spirit leader before? But she come to that. This is who Uchemofo gave our leader, spirit leader. When this thing was going on in 2016, we have no choice than to crown our leader, the spirit leader of the indigenous of Biafra. He was the leader. Mazi can never ask for it. We gave it to him because he deserved it. Have you had any of these individuals mentioning our leader as a spirit leader? Have you had them said it? Listen to me. When you know someone that is loyal to you is when that was message our Lord was telling them. How do you know? When you know that who that is with you is when you are not there. Uchemofo, I will mention that man's name because I need to see somebody that can override Uchemofo. I'm talking about the hierarchy. Unless as Madam Nene today, Madam Nene is standing on her own. And people like us will stand with her because that's where we believe we sworn an oath. Not favor, not to please her. No. If Madam Nene mess up tomorrow, you see me go against her instantly. But I have not seen that, so why would I say something against contrary to that? So, but I want to come back to this issue. This comment she doesn't make now, Radio Biafra. It's very, very deep. Just the same way he's mentioning people named left, right, and center when they want to harmonize their cabalism they have built in IPOB. They started it, these people, yeah. The more I think about this, the more it makes me sick. I wish we could have started this earlier than this. We saw a lot of things, but we said, okay, some people will say, a lot of people don't know. You see this Mazi's age, they attacked. I remember sometimes Mazi would tell me, George, please, let's just manage people the way they are. I'm being honest with you, and upon a private conversation. Mazi never meant any bad. You only found out there's a fraud in company's house and they brought it out because they have agenda. Anything you say, they'll cram you infiltrator. Imagine a leader that showed that Chikerezium does not learn anything. His words that come out of his mouth is poison. He will mention people's name on Radio Biafra. Threatening that is a threat now. We'll hand you over to our ancestor. Because the day I know that Chikerezium have lost his win, and before he talk, he justify himself. Listen to him very well. He's the one who's supposed to be leading, following. But if a leader is talking before he talk, he justify himself, then why should you listen to him? Now, this have shown you that the majority of this our brother they have blinded criminals back in Biafra land. And some of them said that Chinasa Nworu cannot be our commander because he's not our commander. The moment you go against what they want, they will blind you an infiltrator or a criminal and even give out the location where they are. That's how the problem started. And beg them publicly. Even this our brother, Benjamin Imaniwu, say the same thing. But when they come on Radio Biafra, Chinasa Nworu, Chikerezium, there's no difference between these two men. This kind of addressing, it doesn't help us in any way. Because I, George, know for one, that if those people, if Chikerezium actually take time to listen to people, yeah, like our leader do. In UK here, the problem he came here, he take his time. They call him so many meetings, try to address it. When he couldn't address it, then make it official to have a general meeting in UK. A leader should have a listening ear. You don't judge biasly. But whatever they told you, because this thing now has become a norm. That is why we say cabal is not allowed in IPOB. You will speak unguardedly. Those people fermenting problem in our Biafra land are those people that they don't take your ill orders. Because anybody that is a commander that is in the bush that had that you disobeyed Mazi Nnamdi will not obey you. That's the fact. And some of you are talking because you're not in the bush, because those guys could have put bullets into your head, to be honest with you. Because if all of us were in the bush, you did what you did to me, and you close to me, think I will let you, you call my name for no reason, you think I will let you walk as a commander? None of you know what commander means. But I will tell you that's why I say go and find out how to be a commander and what it really means. It's not something you take out of sight. Have you ever encountered any combat before? Have you been in one? Have you seen one before? It's not just saying it. Have you been in any combat or have you witnessed anyone before? Life. Forget about a story they tell you. So my candidate advice to you guys is that you should stop making this insane, because nobody should take these men serious anymore. The people that are calling their name, I can categorically tell you, these are the people probably doing the right thing on the ground. They are calling their name because they don't have access to them. This is what happened. What they want is anything, if you go against whatever they have said, not what the structure said. You can't be in Kuwait and commanding people that is on the ground. You cannot be the commander. It doesn't work that way. So first I leave. And you have not been on the ground, if you haven't trained with them, even if you have trained with them, you have to have certain, and when they found out you disobeying the field marshal, so how are they going to respect you? How are they going to take order from you? That is our problem. And all this, like I said, all these things happening in Biafra land. I have had Chikedozem, you will come on Radio Biafra, that is their mantra. I will mention your name on Radio Biafra in their own exchange. As if mentioning my name on Radio Biafra put foods on my table. I take my time and money, like I told them. I said, we live in a different type of time zone and world we live, and we'll have a different view in reality that some people you don't want to mess around with, to be honest with you. So Mazi, that particular audio, it is not the kind of word that come out from a leader. If these people have done something wrong, you are potential leader of IPOB now, in quote. This is not how you address it. You can't be Mazi Nnamdi, you're not Mazi Nnamdi. When you do my settings and when you can back it up, you can back whatever you're saying up, my brother. And that's fact of life. Mazi Nnamdi does not remove an IPOB tomorrow. Nigerian police or Nigerian are going to kill the person. Never happened before. Onyendu have never removed anybody. Tomorrow, our enemy will invade their house and kill them in Biafra land. But now you're threatening people with a deep voice. Now, our ancestors, it's not our ancestors. We know people that are going to go get them. But when you have told you people that they want Biafra land to become. But I, for one, say it because none of you believe Mazi Nnamdi will come out alive. But what I said in 2015, I will still say to you guys again. Onyendu will come out alive. And woe betide all of you. Mazi, let's go into the finance, and I want to talk a little bit about it before we shut this program up.
Yeah. So should we go on and pray? I think can we pray the insubordination of Chinasa Nwolu and the Chikedozem before we go to the finance, so people will hear, will listen.
Go on.
Yeah,
go on.
I think I think it's
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
With the state of the mind you have seen our leader, do you think our leader is not capable of making any decision? Something he sees may affect him or affect the struggle. That's number one. Number two, the IPOB leadership is not taking orders. Every order. What Mazi Ikechukwu is doing is to
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
people, there were people who played a very dangerous role against that sit at home for their own selfish interest. Because I expect you to come here to ask, when we put sit at home, you saw that Ohaneze Ndigbo, you saw the people opposing the sit at home. You saw them. And you saw people who were giving them thumb up. It is that destruction they want in IPOB. It is to destroy and discredit the IPOB leadership. After due consultation with our leader, we went ahead, conducted the first sit-at-home that was carried around the world. Our leader continued to send message that the sit-at-home, we should call it off. The message continued to come. Everybody was reluctant to call it off. Why I'm explaining this thing is that at the end of the day, I want you who have supported because they sit at home Monday, our people have been voluntarily. When we announced the sit at home, we got messages. Even we are not normal. We know that spoken word cannot be retrieved back. But the enemies of this struggle, they continue to attack the sit at home. They continue to bring excuses that NATO is coming. This one is coming. The university is 6 months on strike till now. They use it to blackmail the IPOB leadership. If you are not aware, everywhere was that the Chike Doziem and Chinasa Woru, they don't listen to what Mazi Ikechukwu is saying. That they disobeyed Mazi Ikechukwu, and you are one of those people. I am making you a direct accusation. Some of you, like you, were part of the people carrying all this kind of rumor that Mazi Ikechukwu told them to allow somebody to come on radio. They refused. Mazi Ikechukwu told them to cancel the sit at home. They refused. I know this struggle. That word that I spoke, because it was in conformity in what the leadership agreed, and it was the best for the struggle. But you were there when people were blackmailing Chinasa Woru and Chike Doziemo. It was to avoid saying that we disobey Mazi Ikechukwu, because we must always listen to him, whether in the DSS.
Mazi.
Yeah.
You know, when this audio is playing, yeah.
We're not in the
one second.
Yeah.
Chinasa Woru, just his voice. You know, sometimes the voice we play and paying attention. Because he was responding to somebody on Radio Biafra, right?
Yeah.
But he wants to make himself look more, like you see how God, when God wants to punish you first, they will strike you mad. That's what happened. He was actually giving a testimony, but he didn't know. He was very confident of what he was saying. Now he said something there that people, we are blackmailing them, saying that Chinasa Woru and Chike Doziem refused to suspend the sit at home. But the same person said that Onyendu was sending messages, that everybody was reluctant. So how can you judge him? Is sure the person is sure it's normal or it's not high when he was saying that? Because he just told us that he refused, everybody refused to call the sit-at-home off. But he said now, now you're pointing finger, people who are blackmailing you like you don't listen, but you don't listen to my, you don't obey my sin. Did you obey my sin without suspending the sit-at-home? Does it make any sense? The guy was, you know, probably is on maybe he's intoxicated, but you know, some people sometimes because when you're trying to prove that you're somebody, you continue making mistakes. He's actually, I don't understand if you haven't listened to the voice after speaking. He's telling somebody that people were accusing them, blackmailing them, and they don't listen to him. But the same person said that Onyendu was sending messages in the same voice. Everybody was reluctant to suspend the sit-at-home. Tell you that Chikedozie is not in charge because he said everybody, right? So the direct message was Chikedozie to do the job Onyendu have given him today. He doesn't need any permission from another of his individual. Once Onyendu pass message, Chikedozie don't need to go back and debate Onyendu's message. That's the problem. Onyendu order is not debatable. Whether it suits you or not. I know Chikedozie admitted to it.
Yeah, Mazi, let's play the Chikedozie voice so people will listen, will hear from it too.
Go on.
You know? Yeah. So before we go into this thing, so people will hear.
The news. I asked them, what will be the I asked our people, those that I had discussion. I said, but what is the reason? They don't want to give any reason why we should suspend it. And they said he didn't give a reason. And I asked them, but you tell me, what reason would I give Biafrans why I am suspending this sit-at-home when our demands has not been met? That was my question. I asked those both in DOS and those who were not in DOS that I had the opportunity to speak with. They were there the news. I asked them, what will be the reason I have to give? And sorry, I think I'm trying to mix a little thing here, but the lawyers have not come back to us now. Now, this is before the night, the first day of it. So when I was asking them, what is the reason they want us to suspend this thing? And they told me that we should use NECO as an excuse. I mean, we should use NECO because of the exam that the people are trying to hold. And I said that NECO doesn't really, it's not the strongest excuse to give the Biafrans why we should stop the sit-at-home. And I will be very, very frank. And I will take the responsibility. I haven't said it on air before because it's not, I don't come on air to, and I said, because there is no reason from our leader that we should stop this sit-at-home, that we are going to go ahead with the sit-at-home. And then we went ahead with the first sit-at-home. After we did the first sit-at-home, and it was a huge success, unbelievably successful. Then, after that same Monday after the sit-at-home, the lawyers had a visit again to Onyendu, and they now came back and said that Onyendu said we must suspend that sit-at-home. So that message came now the second time, and I said, okay, if Onyendu insists, after the evidence we have provided that this thing was successful and that our people were willing to do it, if he insists, I will suspend it. And I suspended it. That instruction came from Onyendu. And anybody who tells you otherwise is lying. And that's how I will answer that question for you. Now,
Mazi,
yeah. Hello, yeah. You see, this is from Chikedozie himself. No, this is from Chikedozie himself. Now, if you go for some illegal social media, they will tell you that Kanu cannot do this, give instruction to cancel sit at home. Chike doesn't told if anybody told you anything contrary more than this, it's a lie. He told you he got the information from Barrister Ejiofor, from Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. This is from Chike Edoziem saying this. But today, people are still hitting on Mazi Ikechukwu. Cancel sit at home, giving order. Mazi, I know we don't have much time, no? So let me stop here. So before we go to the finale, So
it is it's quite appalling. When I listen to this voice, it's like the pierce inside my heart. So something is piercing. When you're using like a needle string piercing someone's heart. That's how I feel inside of me. I might be smiling, but it's deeply hurt that people Onyendu trusted can turn around like this and stab him and constantly making mockery of him. And I ask myself, why? I ask you a question, you blabbing. Now, Onyendu have to give you reason. And Onyendu have to send message wise. So if you watch Chike Edoziem, since Onyendu have problem, all the problem we have is contrary to not doing what Onyendu asked him to do. Even my kids, when my kids do something and lie, I asked them, I said, I taught you not to lie from when you were at 3 years old. Now you're growing. And lying doesn't represent anything in this life. I'm not saying that I've never lied before. There was one book I read, and the government officials said that they lied to protect the nation. Sometimes there's a lie that we take away issues, but not this kind of. This is not lying. This is maliding. This is a gross insubordination towards the highest commander of IPOB, and you make it public. Now, like I said before, listen to him. He said a day before, 18 hours before the first sit at home, Onyendu gave order through the same our source of information that sit at home should be suspended. And I remember when Chinasa Nworu made that announcement, he said, that's why argument I was putting up with a lot of people then. I said, it doesn't matter what they said. After all, it was Chinasa Nworu that came on Radio Biafra and announced it and said, underline the word review, that it shall be reviewed. So they can review it under 24 hours. Said, you know what? We are holding on, which we've done many times back in before. Sit at home has been suspended and lifted within the tenors of Uchemofo several over time, and nobody questioned it. Only thing you need to do, make the announcement. That's it. No argument. So why would you wait 18 hours after Onyendu giving order, and they want the lawyers to go back and get Onyendu that the sit at home was, is it the first sit at home that Wusha said we have ever done? We started sit at home since 2015 or 16, which of course you are aware of it. It's not a new thing to our struggle. We've been doing it. That's what was our first referendum we done, was sit at home. Everywhere was lock and key. It is there on the record. The record speaks for itself. So it is no new thing. For you to say that the reason is because we didn't give you order, and now you're dying our leader, or are you doing it on purpose to cause problem within IPOB? Because all these things are seen as a distraction and plan. So Canon Takano tweeted now, people get the notion, oh, Canon Takano now is one running IPOB, because then the people that on the other side are calling these infiltrators now are the one that are saying, okay, is it Canon Takano running IPOB? IPOB is a family business. This is kind of the word you're hearing. And they are the one endorsing all these words. And in the ringing on people's ear. That is how all these problems started. They started this from one step at a time. Before now, they get into the main reason why they were doing what they were doing. But Mazi, it is heartbroken listening to this man with the kind of word they have said. This word can never go away. This word, generation will listen to it. Just like as we are listening to, you see, some of us are listening today to what's it called? Even then, remember that there was no internet then. But if somebody come, what is this guy name again? What is this man that for you? Sahamad Bello. Sahamad Bello's voices when he was talking about the Igbos, right? So whatever you said, not now that we have anything you say go viral. You can delete it from where you did it. Before you delete it, somebody have already recorded it and somebody have screenshot your words. They kept it for you. That is why you don't speak unguarded. That is why you don't speak out of emotion. That is why you don't speak out of prejudice. You must be sure of what you're saying. Not when you talk about our leader. Uchomofo gave our leader the supreme leader of the Jesus people of Biafra. When there was issue of leadership, we claimed our leader, supreme leader, and we push it through because he deserved it. But today, how many of these men comes on Radio Biafra and mention our leader, give him that particular, call him the supreme leader of religious people? How many of them use that word? That's where actions speak louder than words, and the word that come out of their mouth, their body language, the way they address our leader, the way they are dressed. I will put up a picture. Our next program, Uchomofo and Kanu Takano, because some of them think Kanu Takano was today. We'll talk about it on next week program. Kanu Takano was here 2016. Even when we have meeting in UK here, he was here. Kanu Takano was here with Onyendu. He was on the background. For some of them who doesn't know. Today, Uchomofo may be saying something against Kanu Takano. That's their personal issue. I don't have time. But I'm just talking about what has happened. And we'll have to reference all these things. For some of them thinking that Kanu Takano just surged yesterday. Or can Chikerezem come out here and tell Biafrans that they were not holding the US meeting with Kanu Takano? Couldn't Chida Samoro? Can Chida Samoro come and tell Biafrans that he didn't suggest that Kanu Takano should take over as the new leader of the indigenous people of Biafra? As the moment Onyendu was rendition, they start suffering for who is going to be leader. They don't have the guard for our leader. They don't. All of them they don't want someone is nursing grudge against you. The moment Onyendu had this issue, I had Chida Samoro over time saying that he advised Onyendu don't allow those women. There's so many times he say advise our leader because Onyendu giving you one message or the other to go. Onyendu, you didn't know Onyendu. You call Onyendu just like all of us call Onyendu or the Biafra. There's no other way you know our leader. There's nothing special about you, neither me. And all of us we see ourselves as servants. One thing I want to say, and I said it, I will repeat it tonight again, is that Mazi Ikechukwu and his cohorts, you guys need to hands off you people should revert our monthly dues back to Germany. That's something that happened yesterday or a couple of days ago in the forum. Somebody was questioning where the money was going. And there's a screenshot they cut from the UK here as the so-called National Financial Secretary. National Financial Secretary, the first time we were paying money, that account was Madam Nyanya approved, it's not Chike Doziem. And Madam Nyanya has come up over time and said that none of these people are paying money to Germany. And now the person is defending that this is where evidence they paid money to the national account. But someone was asking, did this money went to Germany? We were telling Chike Doziem and his group and gang, the way you people are diverting IPOB ESN fund, and that is why every time you guys are now leaking the secret of our people because you guys want to justify the ESN fund, you guys are embezzling. Nothing else. Now, how are you going to justify our monthly dues you guys now are embezzling as well? Stop going to Germany. That pays the bill, including the Biafra where you guys are ranting. I want to just know. We are saying it here. If you guys does not take your hands off IPOB finance, we will go deeper on the issues. And because you guys started with employing somebody that is somebody who couldn't cross maintenance to attack Madam Nyanya is holding ESN money. You guys water the ground to poison Biafran's heart against Madam Nyanya, but you cannot point out one penny. Mazi, I need to play this particular clip here about our leader concerning defense fund in America, because we want to Biafrans to understand if this finance is not something today. I want you to listen to our leader concerning our defense fund. Just like today, people are saying, oh, they started, they want to audit Madam Nyanya from so-called all these things was orchestrated plan. They kept quiet. They never said anything. They never said anything. We didn't know they have an agenda. Listen to our leader.
I want the camera to capture it, please. How many people here pay the defense fund? Maybe that you can list you and I have the list here. To me, when I have the list. You don't understand, but I have the list with me. And then I'm still on the defense fund. Defense fund down here, I'm still on it. Then I dem ban son of ban also kaya jo ya dotu ya na ko mo ka mo jo tie na microwave warm wine. How many of you here pay defense fund? I want the camera to capture it, please. How many people here pay the defense fund? Maybe that you can list you and I have the list here. To me, when I tell you, I have the list. You don't understand, but I have the list with me. Before you raise your hand up. These are those that paid for defense fund in America. I asked the Nanya before I came here, I don't refer to my own when I'm preaching, but I have to today because it is an exception and it was sent to me. In the whole world, 50 countries out of the 88 where we are domiciled responded. And in total, the amount we contributed towards our defense fund is €158,406.47. What do you call pence in euro? Is it cent? It is here. From our computer printed, I said 100 and only. This is not up to the amount we use to chase away Fulanis from Anam. Those billions and billions they've been lying to you about, trying to discourage you from saving yourselves. It is here. And how much did USA pay? Somebody here should know. How much did USA pay towards our defense fund?
2,000 something.
2,778. That the greatest gossipers are in America. The greatest peddlers of lies and deceit, they are here. Here in America. The same way they lied to our brother Scott Berry. Lied to him about me. Somebody who was in prison. You know, when you lie and lie against somebody who is in prison for your sake, God will never forgive you.
Mazi.
Yeah.
You know, this is our leader talking. Yeah. So I will take his word as he goes by. I don't want to go emotional. Just like what I said before we play this video. Lies and lying against a man that is in prison. Yeah. You hear what our leader said here? The highest gossipers is in America. You know, this was the narrative they sold in 2015, 16, 17, which of course you know about defense fund. It's 100 and how did we get this figure? Is because we have a central command in finance. Huh? So why I'm stopping this video is because I want those that are listening or those who are going to listen. I want you to listen to our leader very carefully. Issue of finance. Some of us today are going emotional, thinking you're protecting leadership. You are not protecting any leadership. And if you are giving your money based on Chike Doziem direction that he cannot account for the money that Madam Nyanya has given to him to run IBOB errands, that is supposed to give evidence of that money being spent. so that we can do our tax returns, especially in Germany. We're not talking about the United Kingdom here, what they're doing here. Now, listen to our leader. USA, as of 2018, the whole United States contributed $270-something in our defense fund. But the key for the one was on it, just like this moron, this uber useless man now talking now. He asked him, what has he done for IPOB? The information we gave him, he couldn't do anything with it. They are the most gossipers in the world. Our leader said it here. But when you still tell them, you people are the ones that are going to sponsor this project, because these good ones are among them. The sincere ones are among them. Because the more they got the more wealthy ones among them there. And that's they're doing the needful. But I want to follow our leader words, line by line. And I want to remind you tonight, any of you contributing money that you don't know where he goes to, you cannot get any account of it. At least in 2015-16, I paid my defense fund 2015. The moment I joined IPOB, that's why I'm saying some of all these people only said, don't raise your hand up. You will find that most of all these people calling themselves principals that did not pay their money, they have not paid their defense fund. Not to talk about compulsory levy. Let them put their receipt and see where they sign it, who signed it, because in 2015, our defense fund then, you will see this guy signatory on that particular defense fund, which is Umeh Mazi signature is in my, because I paid my defense fund in UK here. They have to sign it from Spain, Victoria, Spain, and send it here. Then the national coordinator Buchina have to sign it. That is how it was in 2015. Listen to Onyendu. So note today that if you're contributing money based on cabal, led by Mazi Ikechukwu and Austin Alban is the one going behind watering it, collecting our money, embezzled IPOB fund. ESM money does not go to any account in Europe, only in Italy, and which Italy they've stopped it from going to Italy. Now, LLC is the official ESM account. Any money that doesn't go into that account cannot be accounted for. That is why our leader stood in front of people in America, proud, giving you the figure. But you cannot come out tomorrow now and give a figure. We are asking Chike Doziem to please tell Biafrans how much has paid into this Umeh account. You knew that Umeh account was fraudulent. But let's listen to our leader. Let's go on and listen to our leader.
All that defense fund will not put in. Those that did not pay for defense fund are those talking about it. Today you have compelled me to tell Fulani that you have no money.
Yeah.
No, they know.
But they want to see they want to see IPOB worldwide account to know how much we have in offshore. If IPOB can be run. I see some of them come and say, oh, they stifle Madam Nyanya with fund. Oh, he's not giving Kanu Takano. Ask yourself, are these people this daft? Is it about Madam Nyanya, about Kanu Takano? Kanu Takano, as much as he is, he pays his own monthly due as a member of IPOB. If there's a duty for IPOB or any work you have given him, which these men are aware of, requires fund, that fund will be given to him to do it. At the end of the day, it will be stated what the fund was for. Let's continue listening.
You can now see it. 2,778. All of USA. And then what Masara Defense Fund. And you know the funniest thing? With the exception of defense fund, the one. Yeah, we did. We did. We did. We did. Give me that one again. The one there, what is it on there? Go confirm. I have no secret if you know me. I tell you the truth always. That is why I'm alive. Chukwu Abiyama said, if you speak the truth always, I will preserve you. That is why I read the longest psalm in the Bible, Psalm 119, every night. I have been reading it consistently for 5 years, without fail. As long as you remain truthful, there is no plan from the enemy that will prevail against you. I have come to New York. I went to Atlanta.
Biafra Alpha Power Media.
Mazi, this particular audio made my day. Everything I know, I said it before, I never pray for our leader's safety. It's like what happened, his rendition, he knows about it. He knows about it. If he doesn't want to be renditioned, our leader could decide to live in Israel for another 100 years, talking about Biafra. But he told us that he would read from the front. He knew. Those that are actually claiming that they handed him over to Zoo didn't even know what they did for him, because that's what he wanted. But no man shall harm on you. You hear what he said? Speak the truth at all times. And he does not have secret. That is why you see how confident he is when he talks about Madam Nendiana. He don't know anything about finance. He don't know. He doesn't know. He don't discuss it with nobody else. Only Madam Nendiana. Did he have him say Coach Chikelezem for me? No. It's Madam Nendiana. The question you should be asking Chikelezem, what has changed from Onyendu to you now? That if you're claiming that you are the one leading us, why are you not refining Madam Nendiana when it comes to finance? Even have them country to come on radio for anybody that want to do fundraising should contact Mazi Ikechukwu. Who is Mazi Ikechukwu? As what? As what? Mazi Ikechukwu as what? You should contact him if we want to make fundraising. But what you are coming on radio to teach us about code of conduct? Who authorized fundraising in IPOB? It's head of finance. This is why we are out. That you must share your sword. You people have embezzled enough. $747,000 US. But Oyibo, time will come. The name of the people that got that money, that is one of the first things that happened. All of you scattered among each other. That money shared. And you have never for one day mentioned it with your own mouth. There was a time people were showing Biafrans the statement of account, but they didn't want to show them the main document. What actually transpired, what you know about this money. That's number one. Number two, Umeh account, you were unknown. Everything you required knew about this account. You purportedly the leader, but he giving the leadership to Madam Oyibo in writing that she is now official leader. Madam Oyibo opened Umeh account. And the people you call infiltrator then was among them. Biafrans was paying money. Current account tweeted that this account was a fraudulent account. After current account tweeted, he came on the and announced it. After announcing it, he went back and said, oh, people should stop paying money, but he never told them why they shouldn't stop paying money. But from the back again, he still asked somebody to pay £10,000 from UK to the same account. What we are asking here is what is going on. What is going on? We can't keep quiet. Oh, this is not why we join IPOB. So we are asking, because one of your audio, we want to play it here, when you're talking about the account in Italy that are going to, when they audited Biafrans, we know. We want you to start auditing Umeh the account, the one you approve. Now that is short or is still operating, we don't know. But how much was it? Because people that have contributed money need to know. It's like United Kingdom here. I told them all the time, see these people ranting. There's an account in UK. When the time is right, I will personally request that account will be, because it's a community account. That account must be, we will go to the bank. Bank will give us the expenditure of that account. Then I will tell them what happened in that account. Because I was the PRO. I know how many people that were paying money to that account. Direct debit. I don't ever touch any money from anybody. But I know the people, the cause. Even there was an incident, somebody that was paying money, I'll come to a meeting with receipts, evidence. They didn't give me receipt. The guy called me a criminal. That's why some people call me a criminal. The guy went to a meeting from my back. When he went to a meeting, now they started giving him receipts. But I was bringing, because I give the guy confidence. I said, my brother, any money you paid, just send me the screenshot. When I go to meeting, I will be getting the receipt. When the receipt is some certain amount, I will send it as I will post it to you, because it doesn't live here in London. And that never happened. That our brother sent me a message calling me that I'm a 419, and I say, my brother, you never paid any penny in my account. I gave you official account of IPOB London. And the guy went to meeting and my back. When he go there and present it, they say, okay, but I'm coming to meeting, asking, telling you that this person, I was the person that asked him to be paying money, that all I want is just show me the evidence. I will come to meeting and get receipt and forward it to you. My brother, you see, like when you said, once you are clean, once you don't lie against anybody. That's what I told them. I said, Providence will give time. You see that account? They don't know me. Unless we don't, if IPOB resets, first thing in UK, you see that account? That account must be, that statement must be printed. The bank must give us that statement of account. It must go into proper auditing. Same account, we raised about almost 19,000 on memorabilia. They think someone like George will make joke. But when time comes, I will tell you that I don't forget nothing. I sit down like this, some of them come back in my brain because my hands are clean. I don't need anything from anybody. I'm not your friend if you're not speaking the truth. Mazi, tonight, fellow Biafrans, you have our leader. Just know that any money you are paying to any zone that does not go to Germany and does not go to LLC account in America, which is our official ESN account, is you're pouring water in the storm. It is never be accounted for. Evidence is abound. Mazi, closing this program, leave that particular message from our leader in New York. The Biafrans to take it home. Because at the end of the day, what we're asking Chike Doziem, Onyendu is proud because he has somebody overseeing our finance. That's why when they were making that noise, Onyendu never pay attention to it. When the time is right, it requested, and the Americans was flabbergasted. The whole America paid $2,700. But they were the people that were singing that Mazi Nankan have embezzled defense fund. Chike Doziem, they started with their ESN money. From there, they went into our international account. He wants to see. What do you want to see? You can actually. What do you want to see?
Mazi, you see, our program is Anagwo Onele. When we say something, we bring the evidence out. You made this statement the other time, and today we bring the evidence for them. If you watch that video in New York, when I was there, I said, how many of you have paid the defense fund? They're not up to 10 that raised their hand up in that town hall meeting. I want to take your mind back. The man that started this shenanigan, this nonsense. I call him Dr. Nelly Azubike, Nelly Donald Azubike. He's the man they used to start this thing, to blackmail Madam Nenyanya. And I'm sure that man not even haven't paid even his defense fund. The whole of America paid 2,000 something then.
It's very pathetic.
The whole of America paid, Now, Chike Doziem want to know what our leader know.
I don't know. Mazi, I'm not cutting you off. You see all the narrative. Even when Emma Powerful write that press release about Chike Doziem is the new leader of Nigeria, all these things was agenda. They have pushed it, and they found out it wouldn't work. All these things was an agenda. I said, Canon Takano, China Sanworu opens his mouth in the meeting, said Canon Takano should take over as leader. So he can deny it. Let them come out and deny it. Yeah. The counter will come out and say what he said to him. Is it lying? The same thing happened with them and Simon and Nelly. The moment Nelly mentioned that Simon will take over, all hell let loose. And now Chino said, well, now gone underground now, putting himself to the leader because Chino, they found Chikerodem as a weak person. Now that's why you see him come on the river all the time ranting like a mad dog, claiming that his leader is member of the US, is the commander. Who is he commanding? Cannot be serious here. This is what I'm saying is that forget about emotion. I see some people contribute. Your money contributing, my brother, is your money. Like I said, I'm not begging anybody to contribute because I contribute my own quota. I, George, will not beg anybody to contribute. God in heaven knows that I don't lie. When I have, I give. And I have been, since I joined IPOB, I have been giving. I can't tell you what I have done on my own private time. Regardless of what all of us are doing with sin. But God, every person, this is one thing, you know, when I sleep like a baby. I don't have something bothering me. You said, he had me say I don't pray for our leader. Have you had me say that before? I don't pray for my national safety. You know why? Because I know who I'm following. Onyendu can catch out if you want tonight. Tonight, Mazi can catch out. 2 parents died. Remember when Roger went to approach them? Did you hear what our Let's Lolo told him? Even though Roger Kano has been a governor, he was still a Afalekwibe king. So it's not Roger Kano that made him king. He's a king by providence, and as a king, they have allocation money. That's one thing people don't understand. As king, tomorrow morning they receive their quota from the zoo government. That is how that's autonomous for some of you idiots who doesn't know how the system functions. But our leaders' compound till tomorrow morning in front of their door, the house was not tied. Only used it to make program one time that his father is uncorruptible. He wasn't talking off heart. That's why I'm challenging all these idiots. All these lunatic everywhere talking. Ask them, where is their family members? Where is their kids? Let's start with their immediate family. You can't see anybody, let alone across board. To auntie, Onyendu, cousin, first cousin, was shot on 14th of September 2017, the day onslaught of Afalekwibe. The jack was involved, his dog, and 28 men fought in that house. Onyendu survived it. And the Kanu was there in the scene. It's not a family business. Like I said, all of you have incurred the wrath of, the Amadio will strike your generation. Yeah, wherever they are, they still didn't press up. It will be generation to generation. So you guys continue talking. Because what you guys are doing, actually, the oath you people have taken is what has struck all of you mad. But some of you don't know. You see this oath we took, some people think it's a joke. You see these people talking on social media. Mazi, against Okukano family, is the oath they took have struck the madness publicly on broad daylight. But in heavenly, they don't know. That's why I told you, whenever I'm not talking, we're not defending the family of Okukano. These people are the sacrificial lamb, that the gift of God to Biafrans. And when Biafrans miss this opportunity, we will become the perpetual slavery on earth. We have become wanderers. We will wander for another 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 years. I don't know who's going to liberate us. Probably the world will die wandering around if we miss this opportunity. I'm giving you that. I'm promising you this. Take it to bank. I personally will not step my foot in that Tomerable Zoological Republic again. Is my witness. If I die here, just like innocent Odenibo, when he died in New York, only thing he asked, you want to be buried with Biafran flag. That's it. There is men. Do you know Dean Odenibo Ojukwu? Men that he fought with that sworn they will never come back after Dean surrender. They never came back. All of them died in exile. That's why Onyeli said, if we don't fight him, there's the 3 places for them. It's either lower 6 feet deep or in prison on exile. And men like us, on exile, don't take my body back home because I die in exile and be buried on exile. But the only thing I will require is Biafran flag. on my casket. This is I'm making it publicly. So some of you have not given up anything. People like us, when we talk, you think I'm here to romance you. No. Onyendu made my day tonight because when I look at the man I'm following, Mazi Nnamdi don't talk anyhow. Even on the court, or not even in the time of duress, he still talk because it's natural. And that's one thing that made me the day I had his voice. All the bones in my body broke. Goosebumps all over my body. I surrender myself. You know, when people are saying they catch a Holy Ghost, that was it's beyond Holy Ghost. George, you may know who I was when I had Mazi Nnamdi and what I do. So some of all these idiots don't understand the kind of people they're talking to. When people like us talk, you pay attention and listen. But those that are going around talking about Mazi Nnamdi's family and this, that, Mazi Nnamdi, even all his siblings, none of them, they were raised from home and they're comfortable. Yeah, you know one thing, upbringing, it's not everybody that have it. It's not because your father have money or your father, because if you go back in Igbo land today, let me use Igbo land as part. Go check all those people their father own has money when we are growing up, we know that. Even the Ikechukwu, all people, where are their kids? Ikechukwu them, where are their kids? They're the most useless among us. They are the most useless among us. Go check them. Go do the database. You find out that they were nowhere to be found because there was no good background. They were selling on their parents have money, but nobody cares. Mazi, so my advice to Chike Edoziem is that Chike Edoziem, your hands off IPOB finance. The same way you went underground doing your dirty job with Austin Albani, ganged up against IPOB code of conduct by diverting IPOB fund, which you guys still do. This is not what IPOB is all about. And everybody that contributing money, don't think you're contributing this money that is going to the right place. You're deceiving yourself. You need to ask questions in zones. Where the heck is our money going to? In UK here, your money going to financial. Listen, they have to start from giving us account of the money we contributed from ESN, the second one, and all this money they've been giving. Where the heck is the money? What are you doing with the money? IPOB does not run individual affair. We have a central command, and our finance is central, raised by Madam Nyanya, oversees IPOB finance. And that's what we're saying. Mazi.
Yeah. So Mazi, before we go, no, I want to make this point, on the line. Well, I want Biafrans. I will play this video before we when you go. I will play this audio, the video clip in New York. So Biafra will take a look at it again. There's one thing Onyendu said, and it touches my heart. He said, "Now you people have made me to review the amount we have to the zoo government. No, this is the same thing these people are planning to do to Madam Nyanya, to review how much we have. Then somebody in his bedroom will be in his bedroom and announce to the whole world how much IPOB have."
It's obvious. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
No.
There is nothing hidden anymore in IPOB.
Yeah.
You don't have anything.
Yeah.
That's hidden.
So, Mazi Ikechukwu, this message is for you. I think the best thing you will do now, Mazi Ikechukwu, obey the code of conduct. As simple as ABC. Obey the code of conduct. As simple as ABC. Second, any message from our leader, you must implement it. Any message from our leader, you must implement it. We have not started. More is coming. If you don't answer up in IPOB finance, we are coming more. Like as George Umeh said, we go deeper. We know what happened in South Africa before Onyendu give order and there was an account on IPOB. No, we know the money they have been paying in South Africa have been in someone's private account. I think, let me not mention them, but when time comes, if you people continue, we will naked you people on the media. I promise you. This is Mazi Ikechukwu. Obom na nchaba ozanu tata. I have seen it. Afgo 95. Malasina Afgo 99. ANSOP from IPOB Finance Department. Obey the code of conduct. Thank you, Mazi Ikechukwu.
Mazi, and I want to thank you for having me and fellow comrades. I know a lot of people will watch this program after we have done. I know a lot of emotions out there, but the truth must be told. And I indulge you guys to be strong. We will say through this. IPOB always come out triumphantly. And I thank every one of you, and we must hold tight. And everybody should do what they do best. And our code of conduct is our Bible. There's no two ways about it. There's no if but about it. But you must live as an example. Preach it what you practice. You can't be a preacher that say, follow my word, but don't follow my doings. We have to be absolute. White and whiter and whiter than snow. That is why we are IPOB. There's no prejudice. What we are doing here is just to redirect our people, because there's so many people are disgruntled and they label them autopilot. When people have no direction, they do whatever they want to do. Just like them, don't follow our leaders, instruction and others. How do you want those that you're supposed to, or you're insubordinate to listen to you? That is where autopilot comes in. So that's exactly the frequency Chikedozium is operating upon. Because if he now doing whatever he wants to do, he's an autopilot. He's not listening to what Mazi can say. And how does he want me to listen to you? Or the next man to listen to you? So we are not autopilot, and naturally, that's where we are right now. But that is not IPOB, and that's what we are against. And the things must change, including Biafra land. You guys must stop mentioning people's name when it doesn't go your way, because you think you have an upper hand, or you use your position. So you don't obey code of conduct, but he wants you to obey court order. I don't get it. Start from obeying the code of conduct. Practice what you preach. That is what you are. Your predecessor was because he refused to suspend those that disobeyed Onyendu, and he said they were his comrades. And you have done worse than what that guy did. I'm telling you the truth. So best thing for you guys, and talking, as much as you come out to talk on Radio Biafra, you will continue to dabble, because your hand have been soiled. That's all I have to say. Mazi, Balo.
Yeah. Thank you, Mazi Ikechukwu, man. You are wonderful. Biafra is so happy, having people like you. Thank you so much, Mazi Ikechukwu.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm going. Thank you.
I'm still on it. Name na Demba na Sona Bany, also Kayajo, ya daughter in our more come to a microwave from warm wine. How many of you here paid defense fund? I want the camera to capture it, please. How many people here paid the defense fund? Maybe not to come list you and I have the list here. To me, when I have the list. Stand by. I have the list with me. Before you raise your hand up. These are those that paid for defense fund in America. I asked the Naya before I came here. I don't refer to my own when I'm preaching. But I have to today because it is an exception and it was sent to me. In the whole world, 50 countries out of the 88 where we are domiciled responded. And in total, the amount we contributed towards our defense fund is 158,406 euros and 47 pence. What do you call pence in euro? Is it cent? It is here. From our computer printed, I said 100 and only. This is not up to the amount we used to chase away Fulanis from Anam. Those billions and billions they've been lying to you about, trying to discourage you from serving yourselves. It is here. And how much did the USA pay? Somebody here should know. How much did the USA pay towards our defense fund?
2,000 something.
2,778. That the greatest gossipers are in America. The greatest peddlers of lies and deceit, they are here. Here in America. The same way they lied to my brother Scott Berry. Lied to him about me. Somebody who was in prison. You know, when you lie and lie against somebody who is in prison for your sake, God will never forgive you. All that defense fund will not pay. Those that did not pay for defense fund are those talking about it. Today you have compelled me to tell Fulani that you have no money. Now they know. You can now see it. 2,778. All of USA. And then what Masara Defense Fund. And you know the funniest thing? With the exception of defense fund, the one.
Yeah, we did. We did. We did. We did.
Give me that phone again. The one on there, what is it on there? Don't confirm. I have no secret if you know me. I tell you the truth always. That is why I'm alive. Chukwu Abiyama said, if you speak the truth always, I will preserve you. That is why I read the longest psalm in the Bible, Psalm 119, every night. I have been reading it consistently for 5 years, without fail. As long as you remain truthful, there is no plan from the enemy that will prevail against you. I have come to New York. I went to Atlanta.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Yeah, hello, Biafrans. Yeah, you guys heard it from our leader. That was in New York in town hall meeting. So on this junction, I will be ending this program, but I want to say something. Whoever that is not comfortable for what we are saying, or whoever that want to prove us wrong, please, you are welcome for a debate. Our leader said he believed in superior arguments. Come, but before you come, make sure that you have your facts. Because here in this critical program analysis, we present the facts. We are not today in IPOB. On this junction, I will say, Chukwu Abiyama, bless IPOB worldwide. Protect our leader and his family. I will leave you guys with this music.